Everybody, what is going on? I hope you guys are all staying very safe and very, very healthy during this very difficult time. Just a friendly reminder to always wear your mask, do the social distancing thing, and just stay healthy, you guys. Okay, we're gonna get through this. It seems like a really dark time right now, but we will get through this. So I posted the question in the community tab on this channel, asking you guys for your theme park related questions, and I got a bunch of good ones. There's a lot of great questions here, and we're gonna go over those in just a moment. If you have a question that you want me to answer in a future Q&A, you can do it down below in the comment section, or you can even go to the community tab where I asked, for the Q&A, post it under there. Even though technically it's an old post, I'm gonna check on that one periodically for future videos as well. So you can go to that community tab. If you ever have a question for a Q&A, post it in there and it might end up in a future video. So without further ado, let's dig right in. And the first question comes from Sam Chat, and Sam is asking, hey Orange Grove 55, do you think Disney should permanently bring back Soarin' over California to DCA? Love your vids. Well, first of all, Sam, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Do I think DCA should bring back Soarin' over California? Absolutely. In fact, I think they should have both. Why not? I mean, look, Star Tours has multiple adventures, right? You get on, you never know what you're going to get, what planet you're going to get, what adventure you're going to get. Why can't Soarin' essentially have the same thing? Why can't we always have it like randomized, where you might get Soarin' over the world, you might get Soarin' over California? Why not? I don't understand it. Soarin' over California is such a popular version of that attraction. It's the OG, it's the classic version. Everyone loves Soarin' over California. So why not utilize that? Why not put it in the attraction permanently, at least in a randomized form even, where you can have both? Now, I kind of understand the mindset of Disney, why they don't do that, because they want to be able to trot it out and boast it as returning whenever they need an attendance boost, okay? Soarin' over California is sort of becoming the new Main Street Electrical Parade in that every time they want to like boost the numbers, they trot Soarin' over California out. Hey, look, it's back. It's becoming the Electrical Parade completely, and that's a shame. It really is. I would like to see it just return permanently, but just make it randomized. Just have both versions play all the time. I think that would really be the perfect option. But thank you, Sam. I really do appreciate the question. And the next question comes from PowerPup97. And PowerPup says, do you think Rise of the Resistance will eventually have a regular standby queue? All right. So PowerPup, thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. Do I think Rise of the Resistance will eventually have a regular standby queue? If you were to ask me this question 3 or 4 months ago, I probably would have said yes, eventually they will. But considering the COVID-19 situation, and even when the parks reopen, the parks are not going to be normal again. The parks are going to change. And I think that's going to be one of the big changes. I think that we're going to see a lot of attractions utilize a boarding pass system. One attraction that comes to mind almost immediately would be like Indiana Jones, where you go through these really tight spaces, really cramped and congested and claustrophobic. I can see Disney utilizing a boarding pass system for an attraction like that, just for an example. So no, I don't think it'll be standby, or at least not anytime soon. I think they're going to completely double down on the boarding pass thing with Rise of the Resistance, and they're going to take it even a step further, and they're going to add it to multiple attractions resort wide, because they want to minimize the crowding in all these queue spaces, just because we're all going to still be a little anxious to say the least about the pandemic. Even when the parks reopen, there's still going to be that level of anxiety. So yeah, no, unfortunately I don't think standby is coming anytime soon. Thank you, Powerpup. I appreciate the question. And the next question comes from Oakview Films. Oakview is saying, with the opening of Rise of the Resistance and Runaway Railway this year, what kind of thrill rides do you think Disney should consider for their parks? I think the dual power coaster concept by Dynamic Attractions would either would be either a great fit for the parks, maybe themed to Wreck-It Ralph, or if they want to compete with Super Nintendo World, maybe theming it to Sonic movie that came out. Well, Oakview, thank you so much for that question. So my answer, I'm honestly, Oakview, I'm really not a coaster enthusiast. So I'm really not too familiar with a lot of the different designs and protocols, or the various designs basically that are out there right now. But I will say this: what kind of coaster would I like to see come to Disney parks? Well, in terms of Disneyland Resort, I want to see more family friendly, highly themed coasters come to this resort. Walt Disney World, I think, has done a much better job at having these really fun, moderately thrilling, not too intense, not too crazy, but still fun coasters, with like Slinky Dog and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I want to see more of those kind of attractions coming to the Disneyland Resort. We don't have a lot of those. We have a few, but I would love to see like a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train style attraction. There's been rumors, and I think you and I, Oakview, have even talked about it, of a like a frozen version of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or something like that coming to like a Fantasyland expansion. I think that would be a lot of fun for Disneyland, and it's something that we kind of need. I would love to see that stuff come. And in terms of Fantasyland itself, our Fantasyland needs a coaster. It needs a coaster. We have so many dark rides and slower stuff like the merry-go-round and things like that. I would love to, or not the merry-go-round, I'm sorry, the carousel and stuff like that. I would love to see a coaster, a highly themed, whimsical, fun coaster like the Mine Train come to Fantasyland. I think we really, really need that. That's on the top of my wish list in terms of coasters. Just family fun, moderately thrilling, nothing too crazy, no inversions or like double loops craziness, nothing like that. Just a fun coaster, nicely themed. I would love that. Walt Disney World is kicking our butt in terms of those kind of coasters, by the way. They have a pretty good selection, and Disneyland, not so much. Thank you, Oakview. I really do appreciate the question, and always appreciate your support, Oakview. You've been a supporter of my channel since the very beginning, and man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. And the next question comes from Mr. Tony Adams, and Tony is asking, how much do you think the park will change when it reopens? Okay, Tony, so yeah, this is a good question. I've been getting this a lot, actually. How much do I think the parks are going to change? A lot. Okay, this whole COVID-19 situation is essentially a 9/11 level event, okay, where this is going to change the way we are as a country, as a society, for a very, very long time, maybe forever. Okay, so similar to after 9/11, when we started getting the bag checks and all that stuff, right? After 9/11, it's going to be the same kind of thing with COVID-19. Bob Iger was just recently interviewed for Barron's Magazine, and he was saying that they're even considering temperature checks. When you go into through a security check, they're gonna check your bag and scan your forehead for a fever. Okay, I think that's not just a possibility. I think that's probably going to happen. I think that's the likelihood. And a lot of people complain, well, not everyone with a disease or COVID necessarily has a fever, and they may be asymptomatic, or they can take Tylenol to bring the fever down. It doesn't really prevent anything. Yes, those people are correct. But look, here's the thing. It's not realistic for Disney to perform a full physical and do lab work on every guest when they walk in the gate. The temperature check is the quickest, most efficient, easiest way to kind of get just a general sense. Okay, you have a fever, you can't get in. You don't have a fever, you're fine. It's a quick, efficient way to kind of check. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Looking in your bag, isn't perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect, but I think the temperature check is something that is realistically probably one of the best options they really have. That's not going to back the lineup like a million miles back. I also think we're going to see a lot more permanent like sanitizer stations. We're probably going to get a lot of stuff like that in all the queues. I think they're going to set those up periodically all over the place, little sanitizer stations. I mentioned in a question just a little bit ago where I think that the boarding pass system that they're using for Rise of the Resistance is going to be greatly, vastly expanded. I think rides like Indiana Jones that have really long, crowded, cramped, claustrophobic queues are going to see a switch to a boarding pass system to kind of limit the amount of people coming in and out. I also think that for the first few months at least, Disney's going to limit the capacity. Okay, so whatever the park's capacity is like right now, I think they're going to cut that like by 50% or whatever. I don't know the percentage. I'm just kind of throwing a ballpark figure. But what they're going to do is they're going to cut the capacity. They're not going to just allow people to pack the parks and have it be shoulder to shoulder on opening day again. They're just not. Okay, these parks are going to be the crowd. The incoming crowds are greatly controlled. Okay, they're not just going to let the parks be packed. I also think that the shows, in terms of like fireworks, Fantasmic, parades, I don't think those are going to premiere with the opening of the parks. I really don't. Shows and things of that nature tend to attract a lot of crowds, and crowding and packing in real tight, especially fireworks on Main Street. I can't see fireworks returning for a very long time to Disneyland, unfortunately, and that breaks my heart because it's such a beautiful Disneyland tradition. It's their kiss goodnight, you know? But I really don't see that returning anytime soon when it reopens. So there's going to be a lot of changes. Now, just like 9/11, it's going to be really hyper vigilant right after, but things will normalize and even out a little bit as time goes on. So yes, fireworks will return, Fantasmic will return, the parades will return, but right away though, right when they open, it's going to be very much of a different situation. And some attractions might not even be open on opening day. So it's not going to be the same, you guys. They're not just going to announce that the parks are open and it's business as usual like it was 2 or 3 months ago. It will not be like that. There's going to be changes. Bob Iger alluded to that in that Barron's magazine interview yesterday. He said there's going to be changes and they're kind of reviewing all their options right now. So get ready for that. But yeah, changes are afoot. You can better believe it. There's going to be a ton of them. So thank you so much for the question. And thank you all. Everyone who submitted a question in this Q&A, thank you so much for taking the time to ask the question. And also thank you for the time for watching my videos. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to remind you guys, if you want a question answered in a future Q&A, post it down below in the comment section or in the community tab. Just find the question where I'm asking about the Q&A and just post it in there. Post it in there. I'm going to be checking that periodically for future Q&As. So that's kind of like the go-to spot if you want to post a Q&A question. But thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Stay healthy. And just remember, there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.